We made it to Friday, trying to feel good on this Friday. It's still, one of those weeks that you wish you could go back to last week and redo the playoff game, and maybe the Jaguars win in that point in time, but that's not the way it goes.
I feel great. I really do. Happy Friday to everybody out there, to you ladies.
Happy Friday to you.
It's 5 days removed.
Yeah.
They had their year-end press conference. Leah made a nice appearance last night at Strings.
She did. It was packed out.
So, it's okay. I mean, the feeling's still there, right? You wish they were playing this weekend. They could have beat the Bills. They match up great against, Denver. If that's who they'd be playing. I don't know how that would work out. They'd be playing New England. I'd take them against New England. But it is what it is. And there's something to work on, which is great. Handling that success will be one thing. I mean, if they went all the way, which I thought they would at least get there. I mean, I did feel like they matched up really well against the other AFC teams, for sure, especially the way the offense was playing and scoring. Mm-hmm. I felt really good. The defense concerned me a bit, but they made up for it with stopping the run and taking the ball away. Yeah. You know what I mean? But look, it didn't happen. So what do? Well, you go back to the drawing board after you take some time off. You get away. I heard James said yesterday they're off till mid-February, right? Something like that. So they get 3 weeks, but still you get some time to get away, and then you get excited about next year. You start having those conversations about who we're keeping, who we're going to extend, who we're going to go after, what kind of draft are we looking at. And listen, coming off a 13-win season, you feel great. Because all that other stuff will settle. You know what I mean? Like, you lost the wild card. Okay, whatever. You did. You could have won it. We'll go back. You'll fix it. You get better. You'll learn from it. But then you sit there and be like, man, but 13 wins. First year. I mean, year of first.
Yeah, probably a year ahead of certainly any postseason success that people were expecting, obviously, before the season. But yeah, when you look the way you did, Taylor, against certain teams like the Chargers that made the postseason, like the Broncos, like the 49ers, right? You're starting to think, but especially when you win 8 in a row, you're just starting to think maybe this isn't going to end anywhere other than San Francisco. Yeah. But that's not the case. And like Tom said, now they have to regroup and rebuild this team.
Yeah, it's funny to me too, because we've had the conversation so much, especially since Mike Tomlin just stepped away from the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously, where we're like, no, you're above 500 all the time and you make the postseason, you dream of that. And then this year you win 13 games and make the postseason and you're like, that's not good enough. And the Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. You've had multiple since then, in 17, 22, and then you didn't win this year, but you're there. And so I do think that you are what feels like a starting point for this to be the standard now. And that's what we've asked for. I mean, at the beginning of the season, we're like, can we be playing meaningful December football? That's what we asked for. You got it. You got some of the best games you've seen the Jaguars play in a really long time. The best Trevor Lawrence you've seen here in Jacksonville. You saw a lot of really good things, and you saw 13 wins. That's really hard to do in the NFL. So
for sure. Before the season, we were like, I don't really worry as much about the wins and losses. It's about Trevor Lawrence's development.
Now, and Liam Cohen, is he going to be that? Can he head coach? He can head coach. The man can head coach. He can play call. He can do anything you ask. He can be fiery when you need it. He can be a little petty when you need it. He can defend your team when you need it. You saw everything you want out of a head coach, and those are the two things that we wanted to see. We're going to work out, and it's the start of it.
Yeah, and look, they're gonna they'll learn the lesson of what playoff football is. Right? You can't make mistakes. Mm-hmm. You just can't. The teams that don't make them are the ones that advance. And you learn from that. So that's a good thing. I mean, it's their first year. You know what I mean? Like, first time you're in the playoffs. I mean, look, if this happens continuously, 3 years in a row, you'd be like, okay, we got to fix
something.
Fans
are firing him if that's the case.
No, which is crazy.
Which is crazy,
yeah, because you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think when we started, I can remember saying, look, I'm not even saying playoffs. I'm just saying you're fighting for a playoff spot at the end, meaning
you want to be in the hunt.
You're in the hunt,
actual
right?
Hunt.
Yeah, the actual.
And not
hunt
only
of
were the
playoff.
Jaguars in the hunt, they were at one point in time talked about being a number one or number two overall seed, which is insane. Especially when you have the Texans bearing down your throat, and yet the Texans kept winning, and the Jaguars said, you know what? We have no margin for error, and we don't need it. Right. We're going to win every single game that we have to win. Until they face a team, Tom, that, let's be honest, the Bills have way more playoff experience. Sean McDermott has way more playoff experience as a head coach than Liam Cohen. Josh Allen has way more playoff experience than Trevor Lawrence
Yeah.
does. And he's been on the road and been in hostile environments that certainly Everbank Stadium was on Sunday.
Yeah, well, McDermott. I mean, their beef with him up there is he's an exit guy in the playoffs. You know, he gets beat in the wild card. He gets beat in the division round. Actually, they hadn't won one like the first round in a while, right? Until they beat us this past Sunday. So
I know Josh Allen hadn't won a road playoff game.
That's it. That
they
was what I was
host
looking for.
Normally the first weekend.
But look, Josh Allen's brought his team back before in regular season game, postseason game. So yeah, he had that in his favor. But again, the solace, you're not supposed to have solace, but we're going to give him a little solace here, is you almost had him even when you didn't play your best. Like whether it was a play call here or there, a decision here or there, a missed assignment here or there, a penalty that was rare, but whenever that happened, defense. Look, I hate to keep pointing the finger, but you're going to have to. Stopping your runs, great. Takeaways are great. But I actually went through it today. I was talking about earlier that there were 6 games this year. Now we won 2 of them that the defense gave up at least one, some multiple leads in the fourth quarter. Some was a tie, like Jacoby Brissett, 80-yard drive with no timeouts, gets them in field goal range. And they kicked the ball to go into overtime. Now, we won that game, but you got to close that game out. Yeah. The Vegas game.
I was going to say, I'm guessing those 2 wins were
lucky.
Vegas
not lucky. You got to make play, but those you got to close those out, right? You had a chance to close out Buffalo. Look, even though your coach went for it on 4th and 2, you gave up a 92-yard drive. That's not championship football. And it's easier said than done. Again,
right, but I do think
you got to have that.
Liam Cohen is not necessarily pointing a finger. That may be too strong of language.
Yeah, no.
But
he's acknowledging.
Yeah, he fired secondary coach Ron Miles today. And I went back through the transcripts from the season. Liam Cohen praised and Anthony Campanile praised Ron Miles and Anthony Perkins, the DB's coach too, over and over and over again, like so many different times, because as we saw, the secondary went through a lot of injuries and it kept being next man up, and they
a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, and they absolutely got the ball from the other team a lot. And so I will say, and John Shipley pointed this out, and I understand what he means when he says Ron Miles is like more of the anomaly for the coaching staff because he's a little bit older. He's been coaching for 25 years.
Right.
Edgar Bennett certainly is older too.
Yep.
And most of the staff is fairly young. So don't be surprised, I suppose, if they end up going after a new coach in that, and for that department that's younger.
Well, look, and again, we don't want to point, but this is extra pointing. But when Newsom was interviewed after the game, he said there were 2 different things going on. So that meant he didn't know what was going on. And I put a lot of that on the player. But maybe Liam says, maybe the coach, needs to be held accountable for that. That was a big play in the game. That cost you the game, you could say. Because
it was Brandon Cooks, for crying out loud.
Well, and you were hitting the quarterback. Like, it was a good blitz call. It was the right call at the right time. And again, it brings you back to that what got Tyson Campbell sent out of here was when he didn't jam the receiver when we were bringing the entire fleet to blitz the QB. We would have won that game. You know what I mean? So, look, it's good that you hold him accountable. You got to hold the player accountable because he's got to know too. You can't be a.
Yeah, I don't think Newsom will be back.
How did they not communicate at all? You know what I mean? Like, how am I thinking this, but if someone else is thinking that? How are we not all on the same page at that critical moment in the game? It happens.
Yeah,
and that's the lesson, right? Because that one play could cause. It doesn't matter when it happens in the game, right? It happened towards the end for us, but it can kill you.
Even early on,
it can beat you. So that's why you got to always know what you're doing.
Right. And I also think that's part of the reason, at least this is in my mind, that Liam calls Coach Camp after, hours after the game ends to be like, you made the right call. I firmly believe in you. Yeah, you made the right defensive call. Obviously, this happened, and what happened was the lack of communication, which, to your point, happened so much last year, but Greg Newsom wasn't here last year. So he wasn't aware that this team gave
all
up
of those issues.
Right. All those plays last year, passing plays last year because of miscommunication.
And it wasn't happening. It hadn't happened in a really long time, right? On the win streak, it wasn't happening at all. And then it happened then, and you're like,
worst moment for it, too.
Yeah, the worst timing.
Yeah.
But again, that's football.
How much do you think, just a Jordan Lewis and kind of the anchor he was back there affected it in that moment, too?
Yeah, on Monday, I was trying to go through and be like, if Colby and Lannon had played,
Yeah.
and again,
Jordan
it wasn't
Phillips
all
had
Walker Little's fault by
Yeah,
any means that the Jags lost.
Right.
But if Jordan Lewis
he was playing out of his mind, so you lost one of your best players.
That's right.
You know,
He
right,
was.
one of your best offensive
Yeah.
linemen. Yeah. So if Colby and Lannon's left tackle, you don't have those two false starts that did, occur against Walker Little, and then if Jordan Lewis is in there, maybe there isn't that miscommunication. But I think overall,
and you don't know. It's just
right.
I
But
mean,
the Bills
yeah.
were way more beat up than the Jaguars. Their quarterback
And it
had
got
been in
worse through
medical
the game.
team. Yeah, they
Yeah.
lost Jordan Poyer, who's not going to play
Right.
on Saturday. They lost two different wide
Wide
receivers with
receivers.
ACLs
Yeah.
between Gabe
Yeah.
Davis and Tyrell Shivers. Like they had Oliver on IR. Like the Bills were way
Yeah.
more beat up. So it's hard. In football, you can't ever do that.
Yeah.
No.
And there were plenty other ifs in that game.
For sure.
big time.
Like not running the ball and doing other things, going for it,
Yeah.
not taking the points, missing the field
Why
goal.
are we doing this to
I know.
ourselves?
It's okay. We're learning. That's what
Yeah.
we're doing. We're learning. We're
And-
growing because when they come back, it's going to be fun. This team is going to be on fire when they come back.
And I asked you, Tommy, earlier in the week, what it looked. Do you watch the film if you don't have another game? And when we were reading that article yesterday from the New York Times, Liam Cohen said when he called Coach Camp, he said, watch the film and move on. So I felt like he was almost like, go watch it, get it out of your system, and then let's take this 3 weeks break and we'll get back into football.
I would watch it depending on how many tackles I had. If I didn't have a good game, I'm
Like, I did my
I'm probably not watching it if I had a bad game.
I as a
Selfishly.
fan, don't go back and rewatch losses.
Oh,
I
I'm
sure as hell go back and rewatch wins. I do not go back and rewatch losses. But I'm also not a
get a
coach.
lot out of it.
yeah.
Yeah, Liam
Both
did
of
say on All Access last night that he's been in the building every day, and then he'll probably take some time over the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it's so strange. You understand this, Tom, more than the average person. Your life every single day for more than 12 hours a day is football, right? Like when football season's going on, that is your life. Even on Tuesdays off, you're
Those guys
still
are
doing
more like
stuff.
15, 18
And right, for
hours.
coaches, way more than
Players
that.
are less, right?
And then all of a sudden it ends, and like you can't just go back to like your normal off-season life because it hasn't been like
Yeah.
that.
right.
Like, want to get brunch?
Right. Like, no, I don't. I want to go back
Yeah.
and I want to look at free agents. I want to talk to James Gladstone about the best free agents on the market right now.
yeah.
I want to call Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, Max Crosby is obviously signed, right? Like you
Yeah.
have to trade for him.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson he was on a 1-year deal this
Yeah.
year.
yeah.
if
He
he's
had
healthy-
the hip, though. You got to
Right,
make
if
sure
he's
that
healthy,
hip's
yeah.
okay. But yeah, he's a
Yeah,
difference
he's had a lot of
maker.
injuries.
I mean, bring
Yeah.
him on in. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll continue the Jaguars conversation on the other side. It is a football Friday right here, Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group. Fred Taylor is now in 1010XL's backfield.
Fred Taylor with 2 touchdowns.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins on 1010XL.
Yo, it's your main man ET here for Blue Chew. And guess what? Blue Chew tablet isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code. Blue Chews provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, longer. It's like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. No awkward doctor visits and no uncomfortable waiting rooms. It's nothing worse when them nosy behind neighbors are looking at your packages and then asking you questions. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this. Blue Chew is simple. It's discreet and delivered straight to your door. And let's be honest, this isn't just for you. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. That's right. Just use promo code 1010XL and you pay $5 shipping. That's it. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Use the code 1010XL, then just chew it and do it.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, Text us 641-1010.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything: custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
It's January in Jacksonville, so you turn on the shower knob expecting hot water. Comes up cold. That's a tough loss to start the day, but Duck Duck Rooter is here to turn things around with the new year, new water heater promotion. Duck Duck Rooter makes replacing that old water heater a winning play. Right now, get a new water heater installed for just $14.99 on select models with standard installation. Call now to schedule your free estimate and take the cold shower off the scoreboard. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. As I said earlier in the week, RJ gets to mix up his songs.
Yes.
This Friday
Good one.
afternoon.
Get different songs.
For the last 8 weeks, well, really 9 weeks, we've had the exact same music every Friday because RJ, like me, is very superstitious. I did not tell him to
It
do
worked
that.
for a while. Yeah,
yeah.
you were getting mad because you're like, why does he keep playing Kid
Rock.
Rock?
Ball to the ball.
Yeah, right.
Jaden Ball doesn't get the ball enough. Speaking of running backs, I was thinking about this earlier today. So last offseason, once James Gladstone was hired and met with media, he told us that one of the things they wanted to do was obviously raise the floor of the roster and get guys into the ecosystem that love football. We knew that part. But he specifically talked about upgrading the speed of this roster. Mm-hmm. And then he obviously showed us, too, by the running back position. Bashal Tootin and LaQuint Allen were 2 of the fastest running backs in all of the NFL draft last year. They ran just over 4.3, like 4.32. Yeah. So Travis Etienne runs probably around a 4.45, somewhere in that ballpark.
At this point in his career.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's slow.
No, it's not. No, for sure.
But if Etienne doesn't come back with this team, if he doesn't sign with this team, if, for instance, they don't transition tag him, do you think that's one knock against him? Is they're looking for a back that's even faster than him?
I think they do, like most offenses, crave a home run hitter.
Yeah.
He's a home run hitter from 40, 50 maybe. After that, maybe they catch him. I don't know. The thing is this: can you replace what he does in the passing game with Tootin and or LaQuint Allen Jr.? You're like, I don't know. Tootin is... Look, he's explosive. I love him as a running back. Him catching the ball, sometimes it looks a little awkward for him. Like with Etienne, it's smooth, right? LaQuint catches
Etienne
it fun.
did struggle with catching the football a little bit. It's really his second season because his first season he was out with the injury. But his second season, I remember the very first game was against the Commanders.
Yeah.
And Trevor lobbed him one.
Yeah.
He didn't catch it. Jags lost that game. Not saying it was all his fault. And then I feel like he's gotten a lot better, in other words, at catching the ball to the backfield.
Okay. But he caught a lot of balls coming out of Clemson, didn't he? I mean, Urban wanted to make him a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And actually, he was onto something, I think. Like, Urban was before his time.
Yeah.
But can you replace it? Because he catches it pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And he's very involved in the pass game, and he should be, because he's still a mismatch.
Yeah.
ETN is. You put him on a linebacker, one-on-one, not many, or maybe Fred Warner could keep up with him type.
And I'm not
Most
putting Etienne down by any
No,
means.
you're just saying
Etienne had a
Tootin can
tremendous
get better.
year. But he's obviously, he's now earned a bigger contract, and I don't know that they're going to move forward with him. I would love Etienne to be on this team, Taylor. I know you would too.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I was just wondering if that's the angle that they're going to go.
Yeah, I think that, which I said this the offseason, I love Etienne, and I felt like it was going to be kind of this resurgence for Etienne. My thing, the speed is probably, just by a quick look, there were only 7 running backs this year in the draft that were faster than Etienne, and his brother was one of those, but, and barely. But I do think, to me, it's more so, it's kind of shown to be easy to find running backs. It's a little one of the easier positions we've seen to find replacements for. Now you have to figure out what type of back you want, and that dictates who you're drafting and what you're seeing. I mean, we saw all the running backs that went this last year, and the group of ones that we kind of felt were going to be good, a Travion Henderson and a Genty and a Marion Hampton. Like, we all felt Judkins. Those guys we knew, but even Scadaboo went later. And so there were a lot of backs in this draft, and a lot of them made impact really fast on their teams. And RJ Harvey, the list goes on. So I think it's just proven to be easier to find a back. And unfortunately for running backs, the tread on the tire is a part of that conversation. We've also seen a massive injury from Etienne in his career too. So I feel like some of those things might kind of all combine together and be like, I'm not worried about being able to find somebody who can do similar things to Etienne.
Yeah, and a 40 speed is easy to look at to compare stats, right? Like, I was looking at the fastest times as far as ball carriers this season, like on an actual run. And Etienne, none of his were in the top 20.
Yeah.
They didn't go beyond 20, or I would have loved to find his. So again, I'm not calling him slow by any means. Just because they've told us they care so much about speed and upgrading that, I just started to think, if he's not back, I wonder what that looks like as far as who they're going to replace him with.
Yeah, well, look, I think when we started the season, he was more of an insurance policy for him, because they drafted those backs for a reason.
Yeah.
Those are their guys now. They want them to be the starters. And, of course, Tootin was earning his way a little bit, and LeQuint did a great job
and they traded
on third down, right? So, but Etienne had such a good year. I think he, surprised everybody a little bit, and very thankfully so. Ideally, you bring him back on that 1-year deal. I'd love for him to be here another year. I would never take money out of a man's pocket, right? I hope Etienne gets as much money as he could get here, anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
But as far as the team is concerned, I don't see an extension, a new contract, just because, like you said, finding backs get hurt.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of football. He's had the injury. I do think somebody would love to have him on their team.
Absolutely.
And again, I would like to see him stay if you could figure that out. But running back, look, you're as good as your O-line for the most part. I do think you're right. They want a home run hitter from that position. But at the same time, I mean, what he brought to the table, I think they would be more than happy to have Etienne Jr. back, at least for next year.
What did you see through the year, Tommy? Because we've talked about it a lot, of the yards per carry kind of going down. So when you go down 8.9 that first game, but outside of that, a 5.1, 6.5, 4.1, 5.5, then all of a sudden you get to the stretch of 2.3, 3.7, 2.7, 3.1, 2.3. So it dropped pretty drastically within the first and second half of the season.
He did. And then it picked back up, right? The last game, I think he had 85 yards. Or no, the game before that.
Yeah,
he
that
had
was
a decent,
4.5.
right? Then he went back to 2-3. And then, look, they were rolling against Buffalo. I mean, I would have given Tootin a few more carries. is. He's ripping off 12, 13 yarders. But, Travis, he had some good runs that day. I think his
that
average
was 6.7.
Yeah, he had a 6.7 average. So, no, you're right. He went through a spell where it's like his yards per carry kept coming down. He finished with 4.3, I think, for the year. But where he started, he was ripping off unbelievable plays.
And we didn't focus so much on it because when a team wins, you're looking at overall what they did in order to win. In a lot of those games, the Jags were winning by double digits, right? So we talked about it, like, okay, the run game isn't what it was, but the passing game is exploding. Yeah. So, and they're winning, so we're not going to focus that much on
go with what works. That's what they did.
Right.
It makes sense.
Until Sunday.
In the beginning, it was the run game. That was helping everything out. Remember, Trevor wasn't clicking just yet, right? So they relied on that run game, and our O-line was blocking great, and we were healthy and, getting after people.
Yeah. And they had, I think that it was 21 drops in the first 5 or 6 weeks or something. So all of that stuff was happening in the beginning offensively, and your run game is what got you through a lot of that. I mean, he had a 143 and 124-yard game in the first 4 weeks. And so we were all like, whoa, this is what's going to happen all year. And then, so I don't know if it's a sense of being figured out or if it's a sense of they just weren't focusing on the run as much because the passing game started working so well.
Well, I think what's fantastic is when the run game wasn't working, they got him involved in the pass
Other
game.
ways, yeah.
And then he was very effective, so that's the versatility he brings to the table comfortably, right? I'm not saying the other two can't get there, but if you had to pick right now, who's your all down, every down back, passing downs included, you're taking Travis Etienne Jr. right now because he's more reliable in that. And by the way, he got better at the blitz pickup. I would still rank LeQuint number one because he's so violent.
Yeah.
I love that guy. And Tootin, I don't think, is afraid to do it. You just didn't see a lot of it, but Etienne got better. I remember, with the play-by-play after game, seeing nice blitz pickup by Etienne, a few times. So, look, again, I hope they can figure it out because I do think, without him, I mean, we went through the MVPs earlier, the players of the year.
Yeah.
He was in the mix, it's tough to say.
You don't win 13 games without Travis Etienne this season.
At the same time, if someone comes in with a big deal, you say, Travis, take the deal, man. Yeah. You earned it. Get all that money. Just better not be
a cold weather spot because he told reporters after the game and on Monday, I don't like playing in cold weather. I'm sure his agent was like, no, we don't say that until after you get a deal signed with the Dolphins or a team like that.
Yeah, right.
To your point about, because I saw Daniel Griffiths tweet about this when it comes to the pass pro. So we know what LeQuint Allen does. That's just what he is. So, but in 2024, Etienne was 54th of 55th when it comes to pass block efficiency. He was 6th out of 72. This year. He struggled last year. I remember week after week, you got him and Tank. They would either not make the block or not know where to go for the block. But wow, what a change.
I think part of why they traded Tank is I just don't think he brought to them what Etienne obviously did. And part of that is the blitz pickup on third down. And then part of it certainly was ball security and also the idea of catching the ball to the backfield. Tank's more of a downhill runner, right? And that's what we've seen him do even with his new team in the Eagles. I do think that when it comes to pass rush, we've talked about this week too. Pass rush, to be super effective, you have to have somebody that is so quick at getting to the quarterback. The two guys that the Jaguars relied on this season primarily, Josh Hines and Trayvon Walker, what have we talked about? They are power rushers. Well, that takes longer to get to the quarterback.
Going,
So the quickness that we see, a Myles Garrett, a Trey Hendrickson, a Nick Benito, right? Those guys, the way they are able to use their agility, their speed, their quickness, that's another area that I think, and again, that's not a 40 time by any means.
No,
that's their bend and their get off, and that's exactly what it's called, is get off. When they track it for stats. That's one thing I do think the Jags also have to focus on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would say I do want an interior presence that can rush the passer consistently because they go together. You collapse the pocket, you come around and corral them, right? You can't step up and just escape out when my guys rush up the field.
Bring Calais back.
But I'll just, but somebody, there's somebody that said, look, I thought it was going to be Eric. And in Eric's defense, look, it's hard when you have a club. you can't grip the other, you can't grip their shoulder or their jersey and rip them and pull them and, try to get around them, that kind of stuff. You can club them a little bit, you know what I mean? But so you are limited there. But I did expect more out of him from that. I think they did fine against the run, but getting after the quarterback and just collapsing the pocket, getting in the quarterback's face, making sure that he can't step up in the pocket and make that throw or get his full, stride in to the throw because you're just pushing it back and he's got to, half stride it. So I think those two together, but I said it earlier in the week or yesterday, I think that we need a more a pass rusher. Just give us a pass rusher. Josh Hines-Allen is a great football player. I don't think he's a natural pass rusher. I think he can get to the QB. It's mostly on effort. This year it felt like his technique went away a little bit. He was really good when he came underneath. I mean, they must love those calls. Yeah. I mean, you kidding me? I'm coming underneath and the center may not even see me, and I get a free shot.
We saw that in camp a lot.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We did. And he's very good at that because he's very fast and whatnot. But I didn't see a lot out of Josh Hines-Allen. The dip, the get off, dipping underneath that shoulder and getting to the quarterback. It felt like there was more bull rush. Last year, it seemed like he had a few moves, sacks where you're like, now that's a beautiful sack. You know what a beautiful sack is? When they go around the bend and they're parallel to the line and the lineman can't get his hands on them because you're all turned and twisted, but you're going right to the QB and then you launch into the QB and either the ball comes out or it doesn't and you're like, that's a beautiful sack. That's not an effort sack. That's not a coverage sack. That's a beautiful, beautiful sack.
Yeah, and that's when you're going to get to the quarterback the fastest, obviously.
Correct.
Is that too, instead of being locked in with the linemen and pushing them back, which is helpful. That's great.
Yeah.
It is.
Until you get quarterbacks that
can move and
can easily move.
Which are half the league right now.
Right, and these quarterbacks are taught to get the ball out as fast as possible, right? So that power rush isn't getting home. That's why we talk about pressures a lot, but not necessarily sacks.
Right. Yeah. And they do matter more than pressures, for the record.
Amen. All right, let's get into some college football. We have the national championship on Monday night. Former Jaguars tight end George Reister covers college football. We will check in with him and get his thoughts on Miami and Indiana. Indiana's still an 8.5-point favorite in Vegas. That line is massive. We'll get his thoughts. So keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Brought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
The new year is the perfect time to finally get organized. Lauren Brooks here, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. A designer comes to your house, sees your needs, and then they create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to home offices, entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and so much more. Beautiful, functional storage for any space, lifestyle, and budget. Start the new year strong with 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free in-home consultation today. Call 904-878-9393 or visit them online, closetsbydesign.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
What's up, Duval? I'm Chad Volamic, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Former Jaguars linebacker Tom McManus is here. Taylor Dahl is here. RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We're going to get it from the NFL to some college football. We, I think, have digested that Jaguars loss and spit it back up by now. Yeah. So let's move along to the national championship game that comes up on Monday night. Check in with former Jaguars tight end and Oregon tight end George Reister, who hosts the Unafraid show on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us, George.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, I'll start you off with an easy one. Do you think that Carson Beck plays well in this game?
Lord have mercy. That was
You're in the deep
crystal
end.
ball.
I mean, Lord have mercy. See, here's the thing. If Miami is able to protect Carson Beck, and I'm not talking about just his offensive lineman, I'm saying if they're able to protect him like they did, then yes, he's a guy who won't turn the ball over for you very much. But the issue with Carson Beck has been is that if he gets into a situation where he has to throw the ball and push the ball downfield a lot versus anybody competent, then it doesn't go well. But then on the other hand of it, you look at how efficient and effective that he was on that last drive against Ole Miss. Then you're like, why are you protecting Carson Beck? So it's confusing, and it goes back to how Mario Cristobal likes to play football to begin with.
Let me ask you, there's been a lot of issues when it comes to the penalties in Miami. We saw the penalties and just errors in general against that last game with Ole Miss when it comes to 10 penalties, a ton of drop passes. We saw dropped interceptions that should have been picked and didn't end up happening in Miami's favor. So how important are those things to get cleaned up for the Hurricanes this weekend, or I guess on Monday?
That's the most important thing, because if you think that you're going to turn the ball over versus Indiana and win, there's about a 0% chance you're going to be able to do that. They are one of the cleanest teams in college football. They will have some false starts every now and then, but for the most part, they don't let you play from behind the sticks. So if you get in third and stay in third and long situations, you are going to be, and it is going to be a nightmare. Because if we're honest, this Miami team doesn't, outside of the last drive against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss's defense is suspect at best. And outside of that, when Carson Beck tries to push the ball down the field on a regular basis, it hasn't amounted to much. You look at the Texas A&M game. I know it was super windy. Excuse, okay, fine. But then you play against Ohio State. There wasn't one single completion in that game beyond 10 yards. And if you think that you're going to throw screens to 3rd and 13 to Malachi Tony and get first downs against this efficient and effective and gap sound Indiana defense, it's not going to happen.
George Reister the third here with us, the former Jaguar tight end and college football analyst. George, great to talk to you, and congrats on a great career, man. We loved watching you play for our Jags. When you look at these two coaches in Cignetti and Cristobal, who are you giving the edge going into this game? Having their team ready, making the right calls during the game day, and not making the mistakes. Who are you giving the edge to?
Okay. Just as coaching, you would have to give the edge to Cignetti because, and mind you, and it sounds like I'm very pro Indiana now, but this team has just been so highly efficient all year. And Mario Cristobal, who I like a lot, right? And everybody has a weakness. Like there is nobody in life that does not have a weakness. And Mario Cristobal's only criticism that you could even possibly say about him has been sometimes in-game management of time and the clock and all that stuff. And then the other thing would be is his style of physicality and pound you and break your will. Sometimes it gets it manifests itself in his offensive play calls, and they end up in rock fight games when they should be blowing people out. That they should have beat Ole Miss by 2-3 touchdowns, but they weren't because of how they want to play and because of the mistakes. So you have to say that the coaching edge goes to the guy whose team generally makes less mistakes, even if they are not the same or have the same amount of NFL talent that Miami does.
George Reister with us talking about the national championship on Monday night. Look, I understand from the Miami perspective, they're probably saying, look, we had a little bit of a tougher schedule than Indiana. We both played Ohio State. We beat Ohio State. You beat Ohio State. Okay, fine. But the path obviously now is in through Miami, right? Like this game is going to be probably 50-50, maybe 60-40, but either way, it's certainly in Florida. If you were going to be drafting a team in the NFL and you get to pick players from either side, Indiana or Miami, wouldn't the first 5 to 10 be more from Miami outside of maybe Mendoza?
Yes, yes. Outside of Mendoza and Surratt, I'm choosing Mesidor, Reuben Bain Jr. I'm choosing Keontae Scott. I got to rattle off a bunch of Miami players before I even get back over to Indiana. And that's the thing that makes this matchup so interesting is that Miami is chock full of, 5-star players and they're older. And this is really the first time that Indiana's playing an old team like themselves. And now I will say, if you were to re-rank Indiana's players now, because the majority of them have transfer portal at some point in time. So when you look at the blue chip rankings and you would say, well, Miami has all these 5 and 4 stars. Well, if we were re-ranking, some of those Miami 4 and 5 stars would be down to 3 stars and 4 stars. And some of the Indiana players who were 2 and 3 star players out of high school would then be up to 3-star players, 4-star players. Mendoza and Surratt would probably be 5-star players now. So I think that if we're being, real about it, where they were versus the glow up that they've had now, they are completely different teams. And this is a lot more balanced than it actually appears to be.
George, if you had to choose, which way does that coaching advantage lean for you, a Cignetti or a Cristobal?
Now, if we're looking at the talent acquisition and the ability to get big name players and everything else, you would have to lean toward Mario Cristobal at this point in time. But looking at efficient play and a team who's getting the absolute most out of what they have, then that coaching edge goes to Indiana.
Just Google him, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, just Google him. He told you.
Hey, George, how do you feel about Indiana stopping this running game of Miami? Mark Fletcher Jr., if they pound the rock with him, he's been very successful. Do they have enough beef, enough firepower to stop that run game?
Well, Indiana plays in the Big Ten, and the Big Ten has people that want to run the football at a high level, and they don't do it with big people. They do it with movement and relentless pressure and that. And the difference is that Miami, as physical as they are, the stats of them running the football tell a different story. That they are going to run it, but Miami has not been one of the most efficient running football teams in the country. They only rush for 150 yards per game compared to Indiana, who's well over 200 yards a game. And then when you look at the yards per carry, Miami's at about 4.3, which is decent. It's not great. So when we talk about Miami as this great running football team, they're not a great running football team. They are a physical football team who's committed to running. And if you can't handle their physicality, then toward the end of the football game, they're going to be able to run the football like they did against Ohio State last year.
All right, George, the final question, the toughest one. Who wins the ball game? And were you surprised by the line being Indiana minus 8.5?
No, I was not so surprised by the line at all, because anytime they set a line in an Indiana game, it usually ends up destroyed. They have been just knocking people's doors off on a consistent basis, and you can't ignore that. So at 8.5 points, yes, it does feel very disrespectful to Miami, but it's kind of on par for what you had with Indiana, and the fact that Miami has committed penalties. They have turned the ball over too much, and they have dropped picks, made mistakes. So and it's not that Indiana's so much better than Miami. It's just that that Indiana has a tendency. If I'm betting who's going to play cleaner, I'm going to take Miami. I'm going to take Indiana.
Yeah, I can understand that. You're in California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the game kicks off at 5 p.m. That has to be just so weird.
No, actually, it's not, because this is it's one of those you're just used to it because that's what time the games kick off, 4:30, 5 o'clock for these college football playoff matchups. What was weird to me was Oregon playing Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl at 9 a.m. here. That's what was weird. So it's not the afternoon games. It's almost like the NFL, right? So. And when I was playing in Jacksonville, a 1 o'clock kick was the first possible game, right? Mm-hmm. So people have a chance to go to church, and then get to the game, especially if it's an early service out there and everything else. Here in California, the first game starts at 10 o'clock.
You got to go on Saturday night.
Exactly, and that's what we do.
All right, sounds good. Well, George, we so appreciate your time and enjoy watching the game Monday night.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right. Really good stuff there.
Yeah.
And,
I tell you what, though, Fletcher's been running the ball great in the playoffs. So I don't know about the whole year, but, man, he's been on fire as of late. So that's going to be
Miami
tough.
has ridiculous skill position players. I mean, for sure. He didn't mention Malachi Tony as far as, if you're drafting guys. But, I would put him up there, too. All right, Tom's takeaways are next. It's a Friday right here in the Sunshine State, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels. Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL. No static ever. Download the free 1010XL app for Apple and Android devices and take us with you wherever you go. 1010XL.
What race car driver won 27 times in one season?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Richard Petty, the King, won 200 times in his career. including 27 times in 1967.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Nikki Sema. My dad started in business when I was just 4 years old, and now we're 35 years and 20,000 satisfied customers in, and literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you're looking to revitalize your home with new flooring or need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites and don't forget to stop by our showrooms during our open house and cookout this Saturday from 10 to 3. Come see affordable luxury, experience a lifetime difference, and receive additional open house discounts.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 16, 2019, Golden State guard Steph Curry becomes the first player in NBA history to hit 8+ three-pointers in 3 consecutive games.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or 2. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
I'm with Refuse Cycles at Jacksonville, and the fall part of the year just offers so much fun, especially when you're out and about. Tell everybody what's happening with Triumph right now.
They have got a lot of new models on the road, from Scrambler 400s. They've got the legendary Rocket motorcycle. Lots of really cool bikes to choose from.
And the price point and all the tricks that come with the Triumph bike, they're all there.
They're all there. Entry level to the greatest of the great. We've got them.
Look for them online, cyclesofjacksonville.com. Check out their Facebook page or that showroom on Atlantic near Regents.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
When football season's happening, I don't think that much about concerts. And then when football season ends, which I know it's not exactly over, it's just over for all of us here in Duval. But then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's concert time. And so
concert season.
Yes, concert season is right around the corner. And I'm excited because we have tickets to go see Morgan Wallen at the Swamp.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Deciding to go to that concert made a lot of other concerts not possible because that one was way more expensive than it should have been, but that's neither here nor there. All right, time now for Tom's Takeaways. Yes.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaway today on this beautiful Friday is Sean Payton, the head coach of the Denver Broncos, is an absolute jerk. Not only did he call us a small market team, and I'm not even talking about that, but he went after, quote unquote, a reporter yesterday. The reporter asked him about Dre Greenlaw coming back, the stud linebacker, who is a very physical player, and he mentioned something about coming downhill, in the run game. And Sean Payton made a quote, and I don't have it verbatim, but it was basically saying, "Oh, well, what do you know about coming downhill?" Totally calling the guy out. And I'm sitting there looking at Sean Payton like, what do you know about coming downhill, buddy? I mean, what are you talking about? Grammar school, maybe?
Over
Pop
the
Warner?
hill.
Yeah, over the hill. You trip and fall. I mean, you're a little quarterback. What are you even talking about? You know what? That's why, and don't get me wrong, they're fine here in Jacksonville, but I wouldn't be able to take that if I was at that press conference. I'd be like, well, what about you? When have you ever hit anybody, coach? Do you even know what it's like? I just can't stand when coaches act like that. He's got that eating grin on his face, and I hope the Bills knock it off. I really do. I'm so sick and tired of that guy. I know he's a good coach, but I don't like his attitude whatsoever. And you reporters out there, stick up for yourselves. Take no grief off anybody. Ever. And I know you might lose your job, so keep that in mind. But still, at least still have your integrity. And that is my takeaway today, brought to you by J-Dog, Junk Removal, and Hauling.
Here is his exact quote. So he was asked about, Dre Greenlaw and his ability to attack downhill in the run game, which is exactly what you said. And then Sean Payton's quote, you want him to attack downhill? Like, what do you know about attacking downhill in the run game?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So he even doubled down on it, too.
Yeah, so now he's a double jerk.
Yeah.
A double jerk.
Yeah.
And the best
don't
part
like
is on the video that I just randomly stopped it. Sean Payton
was,
looks like an idiot with his tongue
His
out.
tongue hanging out.
Yeah, we've actually had that here before with Doug Peterson kind of saying to reporters you wouldn't
don't know.
understand. And so the moment that you do that, I do feel like you know that you're skating on thin ice. And so the reality starts to hit of you're facing the Bills. And so that's his emotions coming through of shoot, we had a good regular season and we just had a bye, but now Josh Allen, who I'm sure he watched every second of that Bills game probably 3 times in a row and saw the heroics that Josh Allen had.
Yeah, I mean, that's where all the small market stuff came from too, was his presser. And I remember because I was doing the opposing, we'd listen to the opposing. So I listened to all his press conferences that week. And I remember coming to you, Lauren, and being like, I'm so glad we don't cover him, because it was the worst pressers I've ever heard. He just rambles on about going to hotels and going to lunch, and then he'll answer a part of the question and then start talking about something else. So he doesn't make total sense anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that, big shot stuff. Treat people nice.
That. Also, football's not rocket science.
It's not.
Even calculus.
Analytics. You don't know. I remember Byron Leftwich, you say, well, to the blind eye, you really can't see. We're like, Byron, come on. We can see if you complete a pass. We can see when you don't complete a pass.
Live in the gray, though, right? That was a Liam Cohen saying this year to Trevor Lawrence, live in the gray. And that's, I feel like it's so easy to be nice. And I know that it's not, I guess, for everyone. Some people just wake up angry. Yeah. But I know the 4 of us, we're just
happy people.
Yeah, happy people and nice. And so it's not hard to be we're excited to have Dre Greenlaw back. I mean, I
got a small stick of dynamite in my back pocket, but I'm friendly and nice and love everybody, man. We all should have a little bit of dynamite.
Tommy's be nice, but also crush their throat on a Sunday.
And then hug their mother after the game and say, it's okay, I'm sorry.
There you have it. All right, we'll get from the dynamite to Lauren's lane. I'll see if I have any dynamite for you in the next segment. Keep it right here. Don't go anywhere. It's 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios. How does number 9 feel about number 16?
All right, here we go.
Find out when David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Mike Dempsey here, and it's commercial truck season at Duval Ford. Right now, your business can drive off with serious savings. Thanks to Section 179 of the IRS tax code, you can immediately deduct the full purchase price of qualifying new or pre-owned work trucks and equipment this year, instead of depreciating it over time. Upgrade your fleet, lower your tax bill, and get to work fast. Visit DuvalFord.com to explore inventory or stop by 1616 Cassett Avenue today for big number 1 Duval Ford.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Crisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Discover the fun and freedom of boating. Don't miss the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Presented by ViStar Credit Union. Tickets at boatjacks.com. That's boatjacks.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs, or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Garrett Scantlin, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for any orthopedic issue you have. I'm back to my Olympic training, and I feel great.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago, went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Running a small business is tough, so the Florida Small Business Development Center at UNF provides a free business checkup, a personalized analysis that helps you boost profits, your online presence, and increase your company's value. No cost, no strings attached. It's guidance from experts who understand what it takes to succeed in business. Whether you're just starting out or ready to expand, it's time to act. Complete a request for consulting at unf.edu/SBDC.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports updates. Gators Hoops continues their road trip this weekend as they get set to face a very talented Vanderbilt squad for a top 25 matchup. It'll be an afternoon tip-off on Saturday at 2 p.m., airing on 1010 a.m. as the 19th-ranked Gators look to keep a red-hot offense sizzling and defeat the 10th-ranked Commodores. It's 52 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
We'll get to Lauren's Lane in a second, but I just saw this. Caleb Williams was only blank years old when Matt Stafford was drafted. Either of you want to care to take a guess? Caleb Williams was this year's old when Matt Stafford was drafted.
3.
Okay, Taylor?
I don't remember when Stafford was drafted.
We've been playing about
Caleb's
18 years in the
23.
league, right?
I think Stafford's like 38, I want to say.
What's that?
I want to say Stafford's around 38
Yeah, he
years
got
old.
in early. He was a 20-year-old, I think, when he was drafted, wasn't he?
think
Because he
so.
left. He was one of those sophomores that could
30,
leave.
he's 37.
37. So,
So like 5?
7 years old.
Yeah,
Caleb
7.
Williams was 7 years old when Matt Stafford was drafted. It is the largest age gap between number 1 picks in playoff history. Really no surprise there because usually I feel like quarterbacks are closer in age. Like other than Tom Brady played a very long time,
Yeah.
Peyton Manning played a long time, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers played a long time, but that's not
I
the
do
norm.
remember it was that because Brady played that had to have been one of the close ones too, because I remember Brady played someone where they were saying it was one of the biggest
age
gaps, but I can't remember who it was. And then I
That'd be
want to
Tampa.
say it was like that one of that same year where the I'm trying to
I know
think
what you're
year
talking
it
about,
was.
too.
And
Was
then
it
the
Tampa?
coaches were also had a huge age gap. Like it was one of those situations too. But I can't remember what year that was. I just remember it being a big conversation,
Yeah.
but it wasn't this big. It was
Yeah.
still like pretty. I want to say like 14 years or something.
Stafford's the kind of QB like Josh Allen could take over. You know, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
concern. I mean, they've got good running backs too, no doubt, in Corum and Kyron Williams.
Stafford's been insane this year. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
insane.
can carry him. He did last week. I mean, he wasn't perfect, but man, that throw to the tight end was pretty insane to win the game. But if you can corral him, you know, I think that's going to be that might be the game of the weekend. You know, as far as being a tight game and maybe a little back and forth. You know, but that,
Vegas obviously thinks that the first game in the slate when
Yeah.
it comes
Is
to
the
Bills at Broncos because
closest.
of the spread is
Yeah.
the closest.
Yeah.
But Vegas is not always right, as we know.
you got to wonder with the Broncos and rust. You know, you just got to wait and see. You know, and hopefully, if you're a Bills fan, you know they take advantage of that. Although they start slow, supposedly. Or allegedly.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
I mean, they only had 10 points at the half, so yeah,
No,
there you have it.
yeah, but that's going to be a good one. They all should be good games.
Yeah, we'll make
Yeah,
our
that's
picks
what they're for.
in the next segment. We've poured over the injury report since Wednesday so that we could be ready
That's
for
right.
these picks. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Just so you know, it's 6:45 p.m. tonight. The number 1 team in all of the land when it comes to gymnastics, the Florida Gators, play host to the number 4 team in all of the land, Alabama Crimson Tide. So if you're home tonight and it's 6:45, you're bored, turn on, I think it's ESPN or SEC Network, whatever it is, and watch those two compete in gymnastics because those are 2 heavyweights when it comes to the nation.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
I like gymnastics.
tune
It's
in.
cool. You know, I can't do any of that stuff. So,
Yeah, me
you know what I mean? Like, that's always impressive. What's your favorite? My floor exercise, I think, might be my favorite.
Yeah, beam to me is the most dangerous. So especially when yeah.
Probably for you, Tom, because you live in a dance household
Yeah.
and it's very
Floor is-
dance-esque.
yeah.
Floor.
Yeah. That's good. Good point there, Taylor.
I don't
Like
know.
the shows I
too,
put
by
on at home. Are
Yeah.
Dance
Open
test.
floor.
ESPN 2 is the channel, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I love the bars routine. In college, it's a little bit easier because the routine is shorter than the Olympics.
Okay.
So there's less of a chance for mistakes, so to speak. But vault is also dangerous.
The pommel horse?
Very dangerous.
Is
There's
that-
no pommel horse in women's.
Oh, there's not?
There is in men's, but yeah, not in
Oh,
women's.
is that
So there's
the,
just the 4. Yes, that's where
Okay,
they
with the
swing their
handles?
legs.
Oh, the women don't do that? Oh,
No.
really? They make the men do that, not the women?
Yeah.
You think the men got more to lose with those things sticking out like that? You know what I mean?
No
Jeez.
comment on that, but yeah, there's just the 4 exercises, and the home team will start vault and then go bars and then
Cool.
beam and then floor. So that's what you'll see.
Hey, that's the real deal.
tonight.
I mean, that level of gymnastics.
Oh,
you gotta
absolutely.
be
Lots of Olympians come through
Yeah,
college.
sure.
For sure. All right. And then in the world of men's basketball, number 19, Florida travels to Nashville and takes on number 10, Vanderbilt,
Okay.
tomorrow at 2 p.m. Max
Who just lost.
mentioned that in the update.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt did just lose to Texas, their first loss of the
First
season.
one, right.
And here's the one thing to watch for sure for Gators fans. Vanderbilt was out rebounded 42-24 by Texas.
Wow. And that's
Who's the best
strength.
rebounding
Yeah.
team in the country? Florida. I'm not
Wow.
guaranteeing a win by any means,
Okay.
but certainly crash the boards like you have been doing all season. You can hear that game between Florida and Vanderbilt tomorrow at 1:30 will be the pregame coverage on both stations, so tune into that.
I was told our own RJ's a great rebounder. Like he's like dominant under the boards
go.
in the league that he plays in. RJ, is that correct?
Yeah, when I feel like it. But
When I
What are you, Anton
you know,
Harrison?
if I'm in a mode, if I'm in a mood, Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
listen, I might as well just get some Windex and clean the glass the way I'll
Is
grab
that right?
some,
Have you
wipe-
watched any
you wipe
Florida
'em clean?
basketball this year?
I have
Or
not.
last year?
I
Okay.
have not.
You know, we are the defending national champions.
You guys are
Mr.
the defending
Basketball.
national champs.
But yeah, Ruben Chinyalu for Florida.
It's a big boy.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
If and he plays hard every single game. Literally every time.
Big
the ball's in
ass
the
with
air.
a nasty attitude. You're going to be a great
Oh
rebounder.
yeah, and he'll
There's
rip the
no
ball
doubt.
away from other
Not
guys.
that you got a big ass, RJ.
But it doesn't hurt
It's thick.
to box out either.
Listen, I got a derriere on me. I will say that.
That's right.
And then JU is on the road tomorrow at North Alabama. You can hear that game on 1010 AM and the AM stream with pregame coverage beginning at 2:45. And speaking of North Alabama, North Florida, sophomore guard Kent Jackson posted a career-high 35 points against North Alabama last night as the Ospreys got their first ASUN conference victory. They won 105-91.
Wow. All right.
Very high-scoring game.
Very
That was
cool.
not
That's
into
insane.
overtime either.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you have it. And we love our local basketball around these parts.
Live
too.
basketball's great.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, even when the high school game, I just went. It was just great. Like it's just so much fun and intense.
It's fast.
It's so
very
intense.
fast moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, basketball, unlike football, obviously there's a lot of time in between
stoppage.
plays.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
to be in basketball shape is like that cardio
Oh,
conditioning
totally.
is just
Insane.
So good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't stop moving. It's just going.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And by
Especially
the way,
if you're running and gunning kind of team. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And
If
a
you're the-
trap, the
yeah.
1-3-1 or something like that. Holy cow.
and/or full court press
Or full
teams,
court
like
press,
defensively.
oh.
You're gasping for
Yeah,
air.
no
By the
doubt.
way, I have not been, this is an embarrassing thing about me, but I have not been to the O'Connell Center since it became Exact Tech Arena. So obviously they did renovations. I
Mhm.
want to say in 2017.
Yeah.
And I have not been since they renovated it to a
What-
basketball games. I will be there when Florida plays host to Alabama February 1st.
Okay.
My
What
first
about
time.
this?
Okay.
I just
What
thought,
about- okay, good job.
I didn't mean
Moving on.
I didn't mean to like
Way
that.
to go.
Well, I just
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a thought. This is my brain working. I just had a thought. What if us three committed to the UNF JU basketball game? Just one game.
Yeah.
Like we go to the games. We can bring
Do you want
whoever
to
we
go
want.
to UNF or JU? Because they play
Whatever.
at either.
Right. They
It's
fly,
easier,
right?
obviously, to get seats at UNF than
Okay.
it is JU because the arena's
The
bigger.
size, yeah.
The UNF arena is about 5,500, whereas Swisher Gymnasium. But Swisher is a cool atmosphere. Swisher's about, I think, 1,200, somewhere in there.
Okay.
But it's awesome. Both environments
Yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that'd be fun.
I'm down.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's do it. We'll have to work
Are we
on
going as fans where we can drink in the stands, or
Yes.
media where we get courtside seats?
it. Well, I do. I kind of mix the both. Yeah, I
I
want
need a drink.
courtside and beer, if that's okay.
I need a drink,
Is that too
please.
much to ask?
No, that's not too much to ask. Both sell alcohol and both are super fun environments.
Cool.
I've worked at UNF once upon a time, but obviously when you work at one, you end up spending a lot of time at the other because
yeah.
of the
Right.
athletic events spread out amongst both. So yeah, absolutely. It
That'd be a
sounds
good
like
time.
fun.
Side note, real quick,
Yeah.
quick to the beginning. So it was the Patriots Rams.
Thank
Tom
you.
Brady was 42, Jared
Oh.
Goff was 25, McVay was 33, and Belichick was 67.
Wow.
There we go.
okay,
I
yeah,
remember
I was
that
trying to remember if it
conversation.
was the Bucks because they also played the Chiefs and
That's
Mahomes
what
was
I-
young.
yep,
but I
that's
was
what I
trying to
was
think of
looking
the
at.
coach, and I was like trying to remember when the Rams and Pats played, and I couldn't remember. But yeah, so 2019 that year.
Nice.
Well done. I looked up to see that when Brady played for the Bucks, who they played. I saw the Chiefs, and I was
Yeah,
like, but I
that
don't think
wasn't
that's
that,
much
yeah.
of an
Right.
age gap. All right, picks are next. Keep it right here. Locked and loaded 1010XL and 2.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you. He's got his trigger finger on the pulse of Jacksonville football.
Does he have a name?
He calls himself Mike Duraco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Brightened by Lee at Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville Trucks. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA? Who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler, bold flavor done right.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the adorable chess man on the trucks.
There are 2 things you should ask yourself about your garage floor. How clean is it now, and how clean would you like it to be? A typical bare concrete floor doesn't just collect dirt, it makes dirt.
It is literally made of dirt.
As much as you sweep and mop, the dust and grit just never ends.
And drips from your car seep into the pores, staining the concrete forever.
A Checkmate multi-layer floor resists drips and stains. It comes in your choice of dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear shoes in the garage and track dirt back in the house.
Gorgeous?
Check. Durable?
Check. Tidy enough to walk on wearing clean white socks? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right. Should have been different, but it wasn't different, was it? Same old story, and dear John is so long. It should have felt like a glove.
This song that every time it starts, I'm like, you can't cover the chicks, and you're like, hold on.
Just wait. I
Hold
love
on.
this song. He was very good, actually, at Warped Tour. I was surprised. Not surprised, because I've heard he's good, and he plays all the genres, MGK, that is. He plays, he'll rap, he'll do like pop punk, he'll do country, he'll do a little bit of everything. And he did pretty much everything and had a couple good covers in there. And I mean, the crowd was one of the biggest crowds I saw the entire weekend of Warped Tour, but it was really fun.
Is he married to someone famous?
He was married to Megan Fox.
That's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah,
but they're not married
anymore.
anymore. Okay, gotcha.
But he's a talented dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of talented singers,
Yeah.
next Friday.
Oh, thank you.
I had a thought.
Thank you. Yeah. Wait a minute. I was trying to think who you're talking about. Yes, next Friday at Culhane's, the Dad Bod's first show of the year.
Culhane's in Atlantic Beach.
In Atlantic Beach. Yeah, we can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We rehearsed last week and feeling pretty good. So
Just one practice?
yeah, well, it's hard to get us all together. I mean, and we've been
understand.
playing for 5 years together. Even with our new bass player, Dwight, he's been with us now for about 2 years, so
Okay.
year and a half. So, yeah, we feel pretty good. We got a couple new songs. We're doing
Ooh.
Creed.
Oh, yes.
We're doing My Own Prison, which is kind of dark. So we'll probably put that in the first set. Not in the
Get
middle
everyone
of the-
sad right
Yeah,
away.
yeah, right. knock them down to build them up. You know, that whole philosophy. So, but it'll be good. Yeah, we'll have a great time.
If you have not seen the Dad Bods before, they are fantastic. The first time we went and saw y'all play, I had lower expectations just because I'm a big music person and I didn't know if the band would be good, and I was there to support you. And after like two songs, I was like, actually, they're really good.
Yeah.
And
the band's better than the voice, but it's okay.
I think y'all are all good.
We pull it off.
And I'm not just saying that. I, for real, was very impressed. So, yeah, next Friday, Culhane's begins at 7 p.m. in Atlantic Beach. So be there or be square.
Come on.
Time now for our picks. And we'll kick things off with the national championship. Of course, Monday night, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. I have a friend who last night got to meet Liam Cohen, and then she'll be at the national championship on Monday night.
Oh, cool.
She already went to see Miami play Ohio State and obviously beat Ohio State. So she's having a good run, other than, of course, the fact that the Jags lost. But Indiana is an 8.5-point favorite. Tom, I'll start with you.
I'll take the points. Don't get me wrong, but I'm taking Miami, and I think Miami wins the game.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people maybe don't think that because look, Indiana's an extremely good football team. They're very well coached. They are very good football teams. I just think the line and the running game. I think Matthews, he's been on a tear lately.
Mark Fletcher.
I'm sorry, I see Mark Matthews, a friend of mine. Mark Fletcher, and he really, man, he's impressed me. I watched him against Texas A&M. I watched him against Ole Miss. He's a battering ram, and he's tough to get down. He's 225 pounds. He's a big back, 6'2", and he can move. And that O-line's pretty strong. I think it's going to be. I hope it's a great game. You never want these. Either way, I don't want a blowout game. Of course, if you're a fan of either team, you don't really care. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Big East OGs, the Miami Hurricanes, the U, to win this game against Indiana. But if not, I'll take the points. Is that fair to do or no? Do I got to go one way or the other? I mean, I'm taking Miami.
Taking Miami, so you're good either way.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Safe.
Taylor?
8.5 feels large. But I don't know. I think I'm going to go the Hoosiers. I feel like what it's going to, and I think Miami is super talented. We've talked about the trenches and how well they play their offensive line, their defensive line, their pass rush, everything they do in that sense, and their run game and all of that stuff. But I think what it's going to come down to for me are some late mistakes by Miami that ends up kind of bringing Indiana over that, which we saw a lot of against Ole Miss, and they were still able to barely win that one, but they were able to win. But too many drops passes offensively, too many missed opportunities to take the ball away. I feel like so many penalties. You're backing up constantly with a lot of false starts, a lot of holdings, that type of thing. And I think that's going to catch up with them late because Indiana does play a very clean game of football. So I'm going to take the Hoosiers.
Too many dropped interceptions.
That's what I mean, you had so many opportunities.
What I wonder if this will be a factor at all is if the game is close. So obviously Indiana had a close game against Ohio State early, or in the championship game. But Miami has played a lot of close games. Indiana's been blowing teams out. And so if it ends up being close down the stretch, I wonder at that point in time, and obviously it is in Miami, I wonder if Indiana's like, wait a minute, we're not used to this. We're used to being up by double digits at this point in time. But I will say something that George said and something that people around here know. Mario Cristobal at times can make some weird in-game coaching decisions. Sometimes clock management issues have befuddled him. And so I will take Indiana like Taylor. I don't know.
I know.
That's such a hard line. I mean, if it was like 7, I would feel better about it.
Too.
But either way, I'll take Indiana. And Kurt Signetti, you can Google him. All right, let's get it to the National Football League. The Broncos are 1-point favorites over the Bills. My gut is that both of you are going with the Bills. I'm going to tell you, I'm not necessarily cheering for the Broncos, but I told you earlier this week, there's 2 players on the Broncos that I think are going to be game wreckers in this game. I think RJ Harvey, if he wants to, and if Sean Payton is smart, he's going to look at the game plan that Liam Cohen probably should have used and give that ball to RJ Harvey 30 times against the Bills defense that it struggles against the run. And then Nick Bonito, we were talking about it off air, Taylor. He's the fastest to get to the quarterback as far as get off and time to pressure in the National Football League. Josh Allen is a little bit banged up. I know that didn't work out at all for the Jags against him, but I think the Broncos, the home crowd, the Bills are beat up. I think the Broncos win. Again, not necessarily cheering for them, although I guess it'd be cool to be like, we beat the team that is in the AFC, one of the teams in the AFC Championship. But see if my gut's right. Taylor, who you got?
Yeah, I want the Bills to win, but I think the Broncos win.
Oh, okay.
I just think the Bills are too beat up right now, and virtually no wide receivers is what's doing it for me right now. I think that Khalil Shakir, who I'm a big fan of Khalil Shakir and what he can do after the catch, and I just feel like the Broncos are going to be able to stop the run very well, and get to Josh Allen, and Josh Allen has one of the quickest releases too, so it's kind of a strength on a strength there of guys being able to get to the pass rusher very quick, and Josh Allen being one of the best at getting that ball out when he needs to. But I do think some of these injuries are going to catch up this weekend, and Denver takes it.
Yeah, the injuries are definitely a concern. During the regular season, the Bills ended up 4th in the league in scoring offense. Broncos 13th. On defense, the Broncos were 3rd and the Bills were 12th. So kind of close, if you compare the two, right? So I'm going to go with the team that's been playing. I do think they'll have a little rust. Again, I'm not sold on Bo Nix whatsoever. I do think RJ Harvey could be a problem, but at the end of the day, I think Josh Allen, this is his year, this is his destiny. Take it for what it is, but this is his time to show that he's ready to win a Super Bowl. So it's either now or never. So I'm going to go with Josh Allen and the Bills.
By the way, my friend who's the Miami fan who's going to the game just chastised me for taking Indiana, so I feel bad.
Sorry.
I feel like I should switch. I'm sorry. That's what I told her. I'm sorry. I hope you have a great time this weekend. All right, when it comes to the Seahawks at home against the 49ers, Seahawks are favored by 7. I double-checked before the show to make sure the line hadn't changed because of Sam Darnold's now oblique injury. He is questionable. He said he's definitely going to play, but I thought the line might shift just a little bit towards the 49ers. But last I checked, like I said, Seahawks favored by a touchdown in Seattle. Taylor?
Yeah, I think I'm going Seattle. I've said it all year. I think they are one of the best, if not the best team right now. I just feel like their defense is so good. They do so many things at a high level. I think Darnold will be okay. If not, they'll shoot him up with something and he'll be okay for the game. They run the ball well. I just think they do so many things good. And the Niners offense just lost George Kittle. I think that's a huge thing for them. And I know what Christian McCaffrey can do, but their defense has been terrible. And so it's just hard for me to lean that way when it feels like Seattle is the most complete on each side right now. I wouldn't be totally shocked if the Niners end up winning this game because it feels like that's this type of matchup, but I'm leaning towards the Seahawks.
Tom?
Yeah, I got Seattle as well. Look, I think I'm worried about Darnold going back to what he looked like last postseason.
Right.
But a lot of that was because of the pressure. I mean, that affects a lot of QBs, but he's been known to crumble under pressure. Their offensive line is pretty good, though. They've only given up 27 sacks all year, 4th in the league, Seattle, that is. And they get Charles Cross back, their left tackle. So that should help. So I don't think San Fran imposes any kind of
they have
disruption.
the fewest sacks in the NFL.
Yeah, they got 20 total.
Yeah.
They got hardly any. I should say hardly any, but they are last in the league, like you said. So I'm going to go with Darnold. I think they win by a touchdown. I think it's going to be like a push, but I'm going to go with Seattle. I think they get it.
Well, I hope for our sake, as far as picks are concerned, it's not a push, but yeah. I'll take the 49ers on those points. I just think a touchdown spread is too much. And I've seen the stat all week. Brock Purdy's 4-0 in Seattle, so we'll see if that holds. But I know without Kittle, it's going to be a struggle for them. But as long as they can keep it to
Purdy.
Within 2 field goals, then I'll take the point. All right, when it comes to the hated Texans playing at the Patriots are 3.5-point favorites. I've been sucking at picks the last few weeks, and it's because I've been going with my heart, and I'm not changing, even though it hasn't been working. I'm taking the Patriots -3.5. Look, Mike Vrabel is that type of coach that I feel like his players want to run through a wall for him, and hopefully he shows them some of the dirty plays that Azeez Al-Shire has made on players in the league and been fined for. Obviously, we've seen multiple times. But yeah, I'll say Drake May plays a composed football game, and the Patriots also run the ball all over the Texans. Taylor?
Yeah, I'm going Texans. I think the Patriots win, but I think it's less than 3.5. And I wouldn't be. I wouldn't honestly be surprised if the Texans win, though. I just think their defense is so scary, and I've mentioned this multiple times this week. They have 3 of the best top 5 defensive backs right now against those quarterbacks when it comes to a passer rating. This is one of the best defenses that the Patriots are going to face all season long, and I feel like he's going to get rattled a little bit between that pass rush, between what they can do in the secondary. I think one of the biggest emphasis this week is going to be them telling CJ Stroud, hold on to the freaking ball, because last week they dominated. He got to fumble 5 times, and the offense barely had to do anything, and they dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans win, but I definitely think they cover.
All right, Tom?
Yeah, I think Houston will be within that 3.5 as well. I think they're going to win, though. I think Drake May's going to find some kryptonite for this game. I think the Houston defense is really good. They're really strong against the pass. They'll get after him. I do think you better be concerned because one thing he showed that he can take off and run and can be a weapon. And we know that when quarterbacks do that, it makes them play better. So they're going to have to keep an eye on that. Woody Marks had a good day last week, over 100 yards rushing. I know the New England's pretty good at stopping the run. They're 6th in the league with 101 yards per game. But, I think Houston, I don't want them to win. I really don't. I don't want them to go to the AFC Championship game at all. I want their season to be over. But I think they're gonna beat up New England.
All right, so I'll go opposite y'all on both the 49ers, Seahawks, and Patriots, Texans. All right, and finally, the game that Taylor wishes was not Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as the Rams go to Chicago. Rams are favored by 4 on the road against the Bears. We saw that Stafford is going to have no issues, at least according to what he says, with the hand injury that he suffered last week. I'll leave Taylor for last since this is her team. Tom, who you got?
I got the Bears. I think they match up really well against L.A. The Rams showed me last week they can get beat pretty bad in the passing game. I hope it doesn't take the fourth quarter comeback heroics of Caleb and company, but he's capable of doing it. I think the running games, they're both pretty good at running the football. The Bears are number 3rd in the league at 145 yards a game. And the Rams are at 125 yards a game, so pretty close there, and they're 6th or 7th in the league. So I think they win this football game, and at the very least, they only lose by a field goal or less. But I'm going Bears to win.
Yeah, I have no idea, honestly, in this one. I think it's stressful for fans, obviously, because we know that Matthew Stafford doesn't play well in cold weather. And yet you have what I'm going to call the Bears as far as being a younger team, right? Just like kind of how the Jags were playing a team that is seasoned in the playoffs. The Bears are now playing a team that's seasoned in the playoffs. I would say Sean McDermott. Right. Sean McDermott. Sean McVay is a Super Bowl winning coach for a reason. Elite play caller. He has, what do they call that? The memory of photographic memory.
I was like, picture.
Yeah, that's what I had
picture
in my
memory.
Picture, yeah. He has a photographic memory, and so I think that also makes it hard to coach against him because he can remember every single play that now the Bears have done defensively.
It's like Rain Man.
Yeah, he is. And then you've got but you've got a home crowd obviously behind Chicago. You've got this team that miraculously has won multiple times this year, so they're going to be confident if it comes down to it. To be different, since I have a feeling Taylor's going to take the Bears, I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, I have to continue
yours.
on with what I've done all year, and I've showed the confidence in them being in the Bears. And I think that, it's going to be -1 degrees with 22-mile-per-hour winds. So I do think this is going to be a massive run game. They're both going to have to be able to run the ball, and they're both going to have to limit those mistakes when it comes to the wind. The Rams have one of the worst, if not the worst, special teams in the NFL, and the Bears have one of the best when it comes to field position and some of the things they've been able to do in the return game and blocking field goals and all of that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to something like that. And we saw during the Bears-Packers game, Romeo Dott, forcing that on the onside kick. We've seen blocked kicks. We've seen blocked punts. We've seen 70-yard returns. It's just everything, and I think the momentum may shift that way for the Bears. I said on my podcast on Tuesday, I was like, they either lose by 20 or win. That's how I feel like this game is going to go. But I'll go Bears.
I think Bears. Yeah, I think you have to, for sure. All right, that'll do it for our picks for this week, and we've got more to do with the golden moment coming up next. You're listening to a fabulous Friday here on Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Your home for Florida Gators basketball is 1010XL.
The Gators get a big challenge in Music City against the 10th-ranked Commodores. Florida Vanderbilt, tomorrow at 1:30 on 92.5 FM.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Pages in your mailbox right now. Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go. Money Pages in your mailbox right now.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
The First Coast Games is an annual team-building challenge to introduce fun activities into the workplace and focus on your employees' health and wellness goals. These goals include some friendly competition, of course, including pickleball, cornhole, volleyball, flag football, and other team sports. The games will begin in March. Register your company and teams at fcymca.org.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us in 2026 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to stop and just say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming in and giving us the chance to help. You see, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry, but at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust, and it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores, and we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, the golden moment right now on a Friday afternoon. You know, I was thinking about, now we move towards the off season, right? So we have some free agents for the Jags that they have to make decisions about. So let's play a little game, ladies, shall we?
All
I just
right,
thought
let's
of
do
it.
it.
Let's take out ETN, take out Lloyd, and I'm going to take out Buster Brown. All right.
Okay.
The remaining free agents: Wingard, Newsome, Diami, Quinton Morris, Smoot, Gardeck, Austin Johnson, Tim Patrick, and Emmanuel Ogba. That's 9. Okay.
Ooh, that's a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So you can pick.
Without your top 3.
Pick 3 out of that you think will stay. And maybe if you don't think 3 will still be here, that's okay. But give me your top
All right,
3
so
out of that
I think
group.
Taylor and I
Gardeck.
would agree on. Yep, that's exactly who I was going to start with. Dennis
Antonio
Gardeck.
Johnson.
Is he free agent? I thought he
Oh, I
was.
thought you
No,
said
he said
Johnson.
Austin Johnson.
Austin,
Austin.
the
Oh,
D
okay.
lineman that they
Gotcha.
brought in,
Yeah,
who
no,
actually
Antonio
played
Johnson
pretty
is-
good against the run
Yeah.
towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
So Gardeck's definitely not my number one.
Wingard. You keep him Wingard?
So I like Dewey as far as two things. One, he is a very high IQ football player, and
For sure.
two, he's really good on special teams. So if one of my top safeties goes down, like what happened this year, and Eric Murray went on IR, as we
Yep.
saw with the neck injury, I believe Andrew Wingard can step right into that role and be pretty good. Maybe not elite, but pretty good. And I'm not going to lose sleep over it whatsoever. And like I said, we saw that this season. We've seen it in previous seasons. I think, and he brings some juice to this team too. There's more and more guys that have that edge
Yeah.
now. But I'm probably keeping him. I'm probably keeping Dewey on a 1-year deal.
How about you?
I could, I wouldn't be sad. Like if he wasn't here, it wouldn't be one of the players where I was like, oh no, what are we going to do? But I can see, you see the impactful moments at times when Dewey has had to come in when people are injured or whatever the case may be. He's always stepped up and played that role well. And when we talk about just the hard hitting type of mentality, it feels like that fits Coach Camp's mentality and his defense. And that's what Dewey is.
Yeah, I would be sad, by the way. We've had him
I'd
for
be
so long now.
I'd be like, I mean, I love him, but also I'd be like, go spread your wings and be successful. But I don't know, going through the list, I don't think there's anybody else where I feel like to me, I want to say Smoot, but more that's just because I love Smoot and there's like this attachment with having Smoot in Jacksonville. But I don't think that is somebody where just impact for the team.
Yeah, I'd probably say Quentin Morris. Because
I think Quentin Morris will.
Yeah, I think he
they'll
will.
bring him
I think for two reasons. One, again, the special teams part of things. But two, I think the Jaguars started to learn that he could be a weapon in the passing game. Maybe weapon's too strong, but he could be another option in the passing game. And so Tim Patrick, and kind of in that same vein,
right?
Neither of those guys, I think, are going to garner that much money. So if you can bring them back, Tim Patrick, as we saw, caught some impactful catches during stretches of the season, and I think a good blocker. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Patrick is around. And again, I don't think that's going to be expensive. But Quentin Morris, I'd be surprised if he's not on the team.
I agree. Okay, how about Greg Newsome?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No,
Just because I don't
they traded for him though.
They
didn't
traded for him, and so therefore, I think he's going to be looking for a deal that the Jags probably aren't willing to give.
Okay, was he on his last? Yeah, because he's a free agent. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, so for me, Wingard,
Agba,
no, I don't like. I'm not that I don't like, but I don't think he'll be back.
He was inactive down the stretch. That's the
Yeah,
problem. And
I
obviously, Cole Van Lannon would have been in this conversation, but he's already been signed.
Been
to a deal,
re-signed. Yeah. Wingard, to me, look. First of all, he's like one of the few guys that has made it through multiple coaching changes, regimes, because normally they eventually weed those guys out unless you're one of their guys, and he sure is. We were talking off air. I think Andrew's great when he's back and reading the center field. I don't think he's great when he's up in the box and then he's got to chase a tight end or cover somebody deep down the field from that position. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's good at hitting. He'll deliver. He'll deliver. He's really good at blitzing, which is funny because it's not funny, but he kind of like lulls you to sleep and then attacks. You know what I mean? And he's really good at it. The timing's always good.
Yeah, when there's violent hits sometimes because of their hair, I'm like, is that Dewey? And their numbers are close, 42 and 47. I'm like, was that Dewey or was that Gardeck? Which, to your point, Tom, I think goes to show you that, like, if you are hitting as a safety, if you're hitting just as hard as that linebacker who's a lot bigger than
And you're
you,
hitting hard.
you are definitely hitting hard.
Yeah, and you might be hurting yourself too because you're not as big, right? When you unleash that kind of
Potentially.
we saw that happened to Eric Murray. All right, so let's do this. So we're taking Gardeck for sure. We're taking Quentin Morris for sure. I think we would. Well, let's find out. Wingard, Tim Patrick.
Our possibilities. Austin Johnson is definitely a possibility.
Austin Johnson?
Because I think he's a possibility.
I think he'll go to camp.
Depth, the depth at that position.
And then Buster, what do you think? He's a lock? You think they let him test free agency?
Oh, that's a hard one.
You know what I mean?
I think they really like Buster.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's a good player.
Yeah, and I think he fits well in this defense.
He's a competitor.
Even if you were saying Lloyd, Buster, or Etienne, I may lean Buster Brown of the three.
Interesting.
Really?
Just because I think the corner to me feels like the most needed.
Okay. I feel like, and I heard Kai yesterday, she was great, that Lloyd may have outpriced. First of all, I think you could find a price, even if it's high. I think he fits tremendously. I think he's only going to get better. I think what they were doing with him in coverage in years past was just too complex, which doesn't mean he's not smart enough. It's just too complex. I remember Nielsen, he would drop him in the hook. Remember, he'd have the guys cross. Him and Savage, you're like, just drop him back. Why are you wasting all this? Because you'd have to turn and then settle and then look back instead of just drifting back into the hook zone. They made it simpler for him. And another thing, the DB or the coordinators in the past, they were splitting that field vertically in half. You play zone on one side, man on the other. Let me tell you something, that's confusing as all get out. You don't know when to let the guy go, stay on, that kind of thing. And there's always holes in zone when you don't have a pass rush, right? So I think what they've done, I've never felt like he couldn't cover. Take, for instance, last year when Devontae Adams had those touchdowns, there was one down the middle of the field. Everybody blamed the Mike linebacker, who was Lloyd, for not making that play. Well, you know who was out of position? The safety. All the Mike's supposed to do is be underneath it to where they have to go over you, and he was. It made a great throw, made a great catch. He tackled him right after he caught it. So he wasn't like totally out of position, but the safety's reading it right. He's supposed to come over and clean his clock, and that ball is disrupted. So I always felt like Lloyd got a little bit of a bad, bad.
Cisco?
No, it was Savage.
Yeah, it was Savage.
Makes sense,
it was Savage. That he got a bad rap on that. I think he's he's a tremendous hitter. He is a difference maker as far as physicality. He's got great range. He can run really well. He can blitz really well. I think they should blitz him more. I wouldn't let him go. I really wouldn't. And I know this sounds crazy because I named him one of my defensive players of the year, but if I had to pick between, I can't keep Foye if I keep Lloyd. I may say, Jack Kaiser, it's your turn to see if you can take over middle backer. I know that sounds crazy.
That is crazy.
But Lloyd's the bigger playmaking type of player. Foye's a great tackle. He's great. I love Foye Lukin. He's one of the better ones.
Devin can't do what he does, I think, without Foye there. In my opinion, if Kaiser was the middle linebacker this year, I don't think Devin Lloyd has 5 interceptions, and I don't think Kaiser gets the defense aligned as well as Foye does and makes as many tackles as Foye does and all that stuff. But that's not knocking Jack Kaiser. He may end up being good, but Foye to me is close to elite as far as middle linebackers go.
He's elite in reading plays and making tackles.
Yeah.
That's what he's elite at.
By the way,
but that's not elite at coverage. That's not elite at blitzing. Although he's fine at it, he's good at it. But I think Lloyd brings you more big play ability from that linebacker position.
Okay, so Zach Bond, for instance, the linebacker for the Eagles, who got a deal recently, makes $17 million per year. So just throwing that out there as far as the AAV for.
So if Lloyd was around 20, is that outpricing your? You know what I mean? That does. If he's asking for 30, because the tag's 27.
Yeah, the tag's 27, but it's how many years is he looking for? What are other teams going to pay him and the guaranteed money and all that kind of thing? And that's why I think Kai Stevens, who joined us yesterday from Jaguars.com, I think that's why she said outpriced it, because a team may be willing to give him a 3 to 4 or 5 year deal that ends up being a lot more guaranteed money than maybe what the Jags are. We got one segment to go. Excellent job on the golden moment, Tom McManus. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Tommy Mack here. When it comes to glass, you don't want average, man. You want flawless. And Duval Glass and Mirror has been transforming homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style, fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to our Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. Only one namer on here for Glass and Mirror, and it's Duval Glass.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller. Hey, pal, is that a turtleneck?
Can't you feel it, Jason? There's a chill in the air, a definite nip.
I mean, it is January.
In Jacksonville, Jason. I didn't come here for cold.
Well, I wouldn't call this.
Cold weather gives me the sniffles. Sniffles turns to pneumonia. Suddenly, I'm in a hospital bed with a tube down my throat because Florida didn't get the memo about ignoring winter.
So switch over to heat.
What if my system can't remember how to heat?
Dude, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can make sure your system is ready to switch from cooling to heat. We'll clean your heating coil to get rid of that burning dust smell and make sure you have the coolant pressure to keep your heat pump pumping out the heat.
I had no idea these sunglasses worked in the winter.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dull, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you as we wind down a tough, hard week. Right? It's been a tough, hard week, but we made it to Friday, which means it'll only get better from here.
Yeah, it started
And it was sunny today.
It was sunny
It
today.
started off rough. It started off rough, but it ended.
But we're ending the week with laughter, and that
Yeah.
is the best medicine. All right, time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They take care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town, all of my favorite event venues around town, as well as my favorite event venue at home, which is a fantastic place to be at your favorite event venue. All right, the pest of the day.
I do like your home. It's a nice home.
Thank you. I meant more like listening to music at home is fun, which Taylor's done that at our house before. I have a great speaker that my dad gave me years ago. You crank that bad boy up, turn on some 90s country, and
after a night at the bars, go home, listen to some good old 90s country.
That's what it's all about, baby. All right, Tom Brady is the pest of the day just because instead of talking about football that's actually going on right now, he's talking about how his divorce from Giselle is the reason that he didn't play well in his final season in the NFL. At some point in time, just let bygones be bygones, right? Move along. She's got a new world and baby and all that stuff. You've got kids from Bridget Moynihan and then Giselle, and you've got a whole broadcasting career. Oh, yeah, and you're an NFL team owner for the Raiders. Like, I just feel like move along. Nobody really needs to hear that stuff.
Sounds like an excuse, Tom Brady.
Yeah, it does.
Also does. Maybe it's the fact that you're old at this point in time.
I mean, look, I'm sure that it was emotional for everybody involved.
Oh,
But,
sure.
I mean, you got to play the game, man. You
Yeah.
got to block it out. That's
But
part of the deal.
when was his final season? He's 48 years old right now. His final season was, I know, right?
2 years ago.
Man, it's wild. I thought it might be like 42, 40. Man,
No,
40.
his final season was 2022. So yeah, he was
Wow, we're already at.
yeah.
Well,
Mid-40s.
he, I mean, look, that guy's got the career and a half,
Seven
I think he's
Super Bowl
got better as a broadcaster. What were you saying?
Seven Super Bowl titles in total.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, just phenomenal. But I think he's gotten better as a broadcaster.
I do too.
I
I've actually
I like
enjoyed
his
listening to him the last 2-3 times I've heard him. And at the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't know how well this is going to work. It just felt too scripted, and it felt like they were trying to be like, we can't let Tom Brady be bad at something. And so they made it
Force-fed
everything.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
force-fed everything. And now it feels a little bit more natural, which is nice.
That was smooth.
Okay. I don't know.
Tom is referring, if you're not watching on video, to Hayes' entrance, which at times does not go according to plan, but today, very smooth. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, are you like me where now you're looking more forward to Florida basketball at 2 p.m. than the football later than that?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think the Gators are getting hot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think they may get scary hot again.
And you've said the tough schedule prepared them for something like this, and I agree.
And now you're seeing the dividends of it. I'm shocked Vanderbilt's a 3.5-point favorite in tomorrow's game. Now I get it; it's in their gym, and they're higher ranked,
and their gym's funky.
Florida is going to annihilate Vanderbilt tomorrow,
especially rebounding wise.
Yeah, I mean, I unless Vanderbilt shoots 55% from 3-point line, which they're capable of, but it's going to take that for them to beat the Florida, even in their own house. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to watch it, and really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Florida basketball, for getting better because we needed that at this time of year.
It was Fat Mike White helped just boost everything.
Fat Mike White. That's my guy. I want to go drinking with Fat Mike White. See how many wings he can throw back.
Hayes,
that guy used to be like, I mean, he was like,
swole.
like just totally like in great shape, and Florida wins the national title, and he makes friends with Ben and Jerry, and it's been hilarious.
Athens is a fun town.
Yeah.
All right, so I know you're on the train with Ryan O'Halloran of get Max to Jax as far as Max Crosby, but
Yeah,
because he's under contract, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Trey Hendrickson is a free agent, so you have to give up way less.
It's funny. So O'Halloran and I were talking this afternoon kind of about a myriad of things with the Jags, and one of the things that we got to was, Crosby is obviously number one, but it'd be fun to do like a top 10 hot board of realistic guys that they could get.
Because you're not getting Micah Parsons. You're not getting
Correct.
Miles Garrett.
So guys that could realistically, whether it's through free agency or maybe like Crosby, a guy that there's a little bit of toxicity with his club, and look at those players, particularly at positions where we know the Jaguars need an upgrade. But yeah, Hendrickson would be fantastic, and obviously wouldn't have to give up anything, just pay him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be all aboard.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right. That's number one. We need a pass rush.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one that gets to the quarterback as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So we'll talk about all that coming up on the Frangie Show. Pete Prisco will join us at 5:15 to talk all things NFL and wrap up the Jags, and we'll do our picks. And I tell you what, Frangie and JJ, this is Hell in a Cell WrestleMania main event. This has become, Flair versus Sting, Hogan versus The Warrior. This is a rivalry to end all rivalries. 1 point separating JJ LaSelva and Frank Frangie in the picks contest, and I'm within shouting distance.
Okay.
So
all those game picker uppers helped you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sub 500, but luckily I've hit a bunch of game picker uppers. So we'll do our picks
It's
as
the
well.
pressure, not the sacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get sacks. I don't get pressures. So anyway, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Hayes. Have a great weekend. All right, that'll do it for us today. Taylor, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
guys. I'm gonna
Bears.
Be nervous. Go
Bears
Bears.
do it.
For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next, right here, 1010XL 92.5 FM.